What's up, y'all? So today I am just going to propagate into the realm as always. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, today I'm just going to talk about where we are. Like I always talk about where we are when it comes to the Masonic side of things, but I'm very vague about what I put out, that energy that I put out, because all that information will kind of fry their brains.
Oh my God! Oh my God! The whole time you would. The whole time! Don't talk to me! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! I have to go. We have to leave now. I have to leave. We have to leave now. I have to go. We're going.
Just short circuit them, and it makes the videos too long for them to want to actually sit through. Then you got people out there who literally will sit through 2 hours length videos and just to understand the propagation, and I respect that. I really do commend that, because these people put a lot of effort into those videos, into editing, if they don't have a whole team or using some type of system that does it for them, of course. But for those out there who actually do edit, my heart and thanks and kudos go out to you, because it's a lot of work. It's an art form in itself. So just want to get that out the way. Now, let's get into it. So I sit up here and literally propagate these messages, and I don't really worry about the number of views, the number of likes I get. I won't actually get on here and spellcast, like, share, and subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I won't do that with you, nor will I really use my hands like that with you, because hands are powerful tools. They take in energy and they put out energy. This is why you see in the movies when Jedis use their mind trick, they're using their hands.
Saying of which, how's he gonna pay for all of this?
I have 20,000 Republic dactaries.
Republic credits? I need something more real.
I don't have anything else, but credits will do fine.
No, they won't.
Credits will do fine.
No, they won't. Waving your hand around like that. I'm a Tridarian. My trick's gonna work on me. Only money. No money, no parts, no deal.
Every movie at this moment, every cartoon has a kernel of what is real in it. You just have to know where to look. But I don't say that stuff to try to bring out the organization, because I don't see why they hide anymore.
I gotta fly home tonight because I got some constituency problem and I gotta press the flesh.
Any constituent in particular, Mrs. Senator?
23, kind of hot, real hot, you know, wants to be a reporter, I think. I don't know who listens at that point, but this isn't the place to talk about it. It's a nice pen.
Thank you.
Come here. Hail Hydra.
I don't get that. You just like to hide in plain sight or something. I mean, what is the point of having mystery schools and just hiding all of the information? Or letting certain individuals have access to the information? You limit your pool. You limit your talent. Because there are people out there who will never get into the organization or perceive themselves into the organization, because you limit the membership. Now everyone thinks you're demonic. And you know, it's funny because there are separate offshoots of the organization. Even though we all fall under one umbrella, under that big pyramid, it's like, it's all over the place. Some drink blood, some don't. You have initiates who don't know. You have the ones at the top, the masters, the sublime princes, the ones who make it to the 33rd degree, and they like, what are you doing with it? You're creating your own reality inside of the reality that we already live in. Like, I'm making the most money. I have all of the power I need. I can take a chopper from one building to the next. I bought a plane. Good. How's your society faring? Who cares what the society is doing? What am I doing? Okay. You use your creative powers for selfish reasons. Okay. I see. We're watching you. We are watching you. And that's it. That seems to be the general gist with this civilization. For selfish means. Someone wants to be over someone else. That's sad. Like, it's really getting to the point where some of us, the ones who are really in the know, the ones who've been activated, are just going to be very blunt one day. And you're not going to like that. You'll probably block the video, which I swear to you, I will hold you fully accountable for hiding information when all of the information that each person on this platform regurgitates endlessly, that you actually push, is so detrimental and destructive to this society, but yet you block actual information. So I realize where I am. We're in the middle of a war. You want to go up against the ones who gave you information, the ones who gave you knowledge. Now, we had a contract that you violated when you signed certain deals and stipulations with certain other entities.
I can. Thank you, Evelyn.
This is a surprise, Ike. I think last time we met, it took us a week to get all our ducks in a row. I'm on pins and needles. Dick, how's New York treating you?
Oh, just peachy. I think I actually spotted an American citizen the other day.
Okay. So what's the mystery? Tell me this is all a hazing ritual for new presidents.
I understand how you must feel. It's a hard pill to swallow.
I can't understand how a sitting president, once the supreme allied commander in Europe, could make such a treaty, allowing Americans to be abducted and experimented on.
Are you
Dick.
somehow?
5,000 people a year ensures the safety of 190 million Americans.
And with the technology that we are getting in exchange, we will dominate the world.
Our dominance.
Well, of course, Jack. What else is there?
But let that slide. Then the contract that you had expired December 4th of 2021. Remember the eclipse? Once that whole thing passed over Antarctica, the contract was over. So now you're at the whims of certain entities, and you don't like it. It's okay. I get it. I do get it. Nobody likes being told that they have to go back to the bottom. Holding on to power is something that I've not really struggled with because I've always had it. Then when you go through a reincarnation cycle, even though you don't recall it, that imprint of power is still there. It's still there in the background. You'll pick up on it subtly because people, you can feel the energy from people, and it exudes off of those who are actually chosen for certain things.
Hey! What is going on here?
Your Majesty.
What is with this Your Majesty thing?
You've never been stung by a bee, have you?
No.
No, bees are genetically designed to recognize royalty.
You are in for a surprise when you find out what I do for a living.
No, it's not what you do. It's what you are. They sense it. Bees aren't like humans. They don't question or doubt. Bees don't lie.
Because The one consciousness that inhabits us all chooses certain vessels that it likes more than others at that moment in time. Like, you want to know a story? Let me tell you a story. Would you really like to relive the life and death of your civilization? Seeing everyone that you know and love, everyone that you care for, really. Live life, pass. Live life, pass. Live life, pass. Over and over and over again. Endlessly. As a punishment, mind you, for your curiosity and doing something that was forbidden. Don't worry, you'll live that life. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story, and then that'll be the end of the video, because I don't really know where this video is going. I don't really script any of my videos, and I don't really care to, because you just gotta go with the flow, right? Let's just go with the flow and see where things go. So, there once were individuals who worshipped a spire. It was a pointed spire, kind of like the ones that you see in pictures from the Kingdom of Axum.
An ancient Ethiopian civilization. Erection of stelae in Axum was a very old practice and possibly much, much older than what standard academics say, but the standard story is it was done from the Cushitic kingdom of Meroe. Their function, supposedly, was to be that of markers for underground burial chambers, but they look very megalithic to me, and they're made of very hard granitic stone, which would be very difficult to shape in the 4th century CE. The largest of the grave markers, so-called, were for burial chambers and were decorated with multi-story false windows.
If you don't know where Axum is or have never heard of Axum, your education system has done you a disservice. And that's one way you can realize that we don't know anything about our history. But I don't fault you, because I'd have to fault myself. My apologies. With that, there was a civilization. Now, in that time, we didn't actually give natural birth. That wasn't the thing that we were really made for. Our bodies just didn't have the same features as the bodies that you have, or that I inhabit right now. We did have organs for waste purposes, but nothing for sexual, because we didn't really give birth in the same aspect that humans do, or animals in this plane of existence. So what we did, the spire itself, it would split the sky. It gave off it was emitting some type of electromagnetic frequency that you could see visually, or we could see, and it would split the sky. Just imagine us having a sky, then there's a big dark split going down the middle. That was kind of how it was with that spire. And I was one of the entities that was the most curious about how the spire operated. I wanted to know more, because it's the one that created our civilization. There's a whole ritual ceremony around it. But me, being the curious person or curious entity that I was, I had to know more. As our civilization grew, as we became more aware of our surroundings and wanted to explore more, so did our scientific prowess grow. We began to create what you would call technology. So we were using that technology, and me being one of the lead scientists, if you would call it a scientist, because we all kind of knew a lot. We all kind of learned at the same pace at that time. But I was the most passionate, passionate about learning the ways of the spire. So 2 incidents that I did sealed my fate. Sealed that civilization's fate. One, during the ritual, the only parties involved in the rituals were the individual that passed. Their vessel itself will be laid in front of the spire. In that civilization, since we were evenly split, had a life partner. They were our twin flame, the ones that messed with us. So those were the only two allowed. I went up to a hillside that overlooked the valley where the spire was, not knowing that I was being monitored. All of us were being monitored because the spire was a version of the crystalline entity that we all surround right now. I didn't know any better. Didn't know my actions were being watched and monitored. One of the only major rules we had, violated right then and there. And then when I tried to do scientific experiments on the spire, that's when it really hit the fan and the whole planet was inadvertently destroyed. And then we were restarted. But that's a whole nother story. So now that you have that story, and this video is getting a little bit longer than I would like, you can do what you wish with it. You can believe it, you cannot believe it.
But I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
It really doesn't make a difference. We go back to it regardless. I'll go back to being that passionate individual trying to find out more about that spire, starting up a journey on which we all will have the opportunity to live. How do you know this? All Anunnaki, especially the Council, knows this. It's common knowledge. In the words of Prote from Cape Hatch.
How could you know this?
Every Capaxian knows this. Just as every child on Earth knows that your planet revolves around your sun. It's common knowledge, isn't it?
Common knowledge. So, with that, too much crazy talk going on. My apologies for adding to the crazy talk. Maybe I should talk more about the history of the world instead of going way all the way back to the beginning and to the end, because it's both one and the same, because that's where they conjoin, right then and there when the planet was destroyed. Beginning and end happened right there. So, with that, I hope that you didn't get a little weirded out by the information, and I hope you enjoyed the little story time. It's just something that was on my mind to say. This video probably doesn't serve a purpose for propagating a narration for those to latch on to so that they can, you know what, I was first in saying this. You keep doing that stuff. Nobody's really first anymore. I mean, really, come on now. We're all one and the same here. Get it together. You could tell when people are on a specific level based on what they say, based on their actions, based on just how they talk. how they, like, I mean, like, if you don't have the confidence, then you don't have the confidence. I mean, everything's a level now. And listen, you do what's right for your journey, no matter what anyone says. If you're timid, if you're confident, if you're someone who just wants to swim with sharks all day, do you. That is your journey. As long as it's making you happy, or you're learning from it, gaining insight, or trying to pass that whatever trial or tribulation you're going through, because we all go through some type of trial during the journey to test whether or not we are actually gaining any kind of insight. So if you're going through that, make the best of it. I hope you beat it, so you don't have to repeat it. Now, with that being said, a smile on and positive vibes your way. For the light workers, keep doing your thing. For the chosen, stay on mission. And for those who know, let's get it.